But here's the thing. We know by looking at biomechanics that if I actually bend the lead arm going back, I create another lever. That lever gives me another ability to create speed. So just like setting my wrist is a lever, bending my arm is a lever. You know, one of the first things we're going to look at is actually this front side and this lead foot. So a big thing with creating power is you need to get behind the golf ball. Now you're already behind it at setup, but what we need is we need to turn as much as we can. To do that, a lot of us don't think about lifting our heel off the ground, and we should. It used to happen, Jack Nicklaus used to do it, a lot of the elder players used to do it back in the day, and we've kind of lost that. The reason being is players of today, they're trying to stabilize, they have this great mobility and flexibility, they're trying to hit it straight. They already can generate speed. But if you can't generate speed, then try some of these tricks because they really will help you.
Yeah, it may not look conventional because, like you say, we've all been sort of told we need to keep stable and turn against this stable lower body, but like from our coaching peers all the time, we send somebody away who's trying to work a stability, they stop turning. So it comes at a cost sometimes working at that, doesn't it?
It does, and one thing that you need to be aware of is a lot of us think that we have to lock down our lower body and create this coil, create torque, right? But we know from looking at 3D and biomechanics that it's the downswing that's more important than the backswing. So what I want most players to do that are struggling with speed is I want to start by actually lifting this lead heel. So as you go back, I want you to pick that up and really focus on getting behind and making a big hip turn, big shoulder turn like Bubba Watson does.
Exactly, yes. If it's good enough for Bubba, then it's good enough for maybe me.
So let's go through that, and let's see how that's going to actually work on some practice swings first of all.
So I think
So that just shows your normal, right? So you can see stabilizing the lower body, great flexibility, beautiful turn at the top of the backswing. That's more of your classic, what we see the best players in the world do. Now let's just show as if we're a little restricted, just let that heel come up. There you go. So bigger turn, actually frees up the rotation going back, a bigger hip turn, and that actually is what I'm looking for, is that bigger coil. The reason why I like this drill for a lot of you is if you allow that heel to come up, the great trigger on the downswing is put it down before you unwind your upper body.
Yeah.
That's that separation, right? So what we know that creates power is separation on the downswing, not so much separation on the backswing.
Yeah, and the feel of that as well. When I do that, I know that we talk about it so much about loading into this trail leg and getting behind it. You can really feel the difference between keeping the feet planted there and just allowing that to come up. And I think one of the key things I always think about when I see this is what this knee does as well, Dave, because I see people trying to lift this up and doing this instead of actually allowing the knee to move in and sort of work towards this side as well.
Well, not only that, look how your knee is pointing back behind the golf ball. So you never want that knee pointing down towards your toe. If you're going to lift it up, I want that knee pointing back towards and behind the golf ball. There you go.
This is interesting with Nicklaus as well, isn't it? I mean, Nicklaus would very much talk about that. He would talk about putting that foot down as his start to his downswing.
He would, and you know, he used to kind of talk about even rolling the ankles and getting this kind of motion going so that he could use his legs. And your legs, that's one of the most powerful things you have. So you've got to use them in the golf swing. And this is not, if you go to the long drive tour, nearly every one of them does this.
Yeah.
So why, if I'm struggling with power, don't you do it? Because the World Long Drive, these guys are way longer than the PGA Tour, right? And they're using that as a power technique. The reason you don't see it on the tour is it does create, you got to have great stability, awareness to get back to the golf ball.
And it is a trade-off, isn't it? I mean, obviously, people watching this are going to be going, well, is this going to affect my ability to be accurate? Well, yes, it is. You probably are going to be a little bit more less accurate, but guess what? If you're 30 yards further down the fairway and you're coming in with maybe a shorter iron, then the trade-off is actually worth it, isn't it?
Well, and to your point, statistics clearly show that the further you hit it, the better you're going to play. So you want those extra 20, 30 yards, and if we can get them by just lifting your foot up, why not?
Let's see a hit one.
Are they safe down there, by the way? I'm sure they're safe.
Greg's in his office down there.
Yeah, we'll wave the flag.
We'll wake him up.
Not safe.
We should have a camera down there
I
as
know
well.
you got plenty of speed. So just give us a normal one first, just your normal stock first with your foot down.
It'd be interesting to see the swing length on this, because I know for a fact, looking at that, it's going to be definitely longer with the new one.
Well, that was pretty solid.
Is it good?
We lost it in the clouds, but it was pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
It's going to take a little bit of practice as well, just to coordinate it, but that's the good thing.
To which point we go over here.
So I'll try one now with
Yeah,
lifting
try
it
one.
up,
So
yeah?
and you're going to feel the arm swing longer. There you go. There you go. Big turn.
Okay.
You could even hear the sound there. So again, that didn't look like he was rushing it. That didn't look much different than his normal tempo and rhythm, but a definite thing that we saw was a longer backswing,
Yes.
a bigger turn, and to me, anytime I can get this club further away from me, I've got the ability to create more speed and power.
Okay, so I think absolutely 100%. Now, the one thing that I'm sure people are looking at this doing, well, if I'm doing that, do I have to compensate with anything else perhaps in the setup? What would you see?
So
with
the
that?
only things I would do is that because you're getting further behind the golf ball, you might have to look at ball position. Because it's a little bit of a longer golf swing, your timing might be a little bit different. So if you start to hit a little crooked, I would experiment with moving a little further, a little back. Teeing it a little higher would also help as well.
Which is obviously good for optimizing distance anyway, so
Exactly.
that's good. Okay, right, so that's cool with that one. What about the next one?
So the next one is probably the most unusual.
Are you sure
right?
you want to say it?
I will say it because this is gonna chastise me on the social networking blogs. Most of us have always been taught to keep our left arm straight. When we look at guys like Dustin Johnson who have this, again, huge flexibility, can get the arms way up in the air, very straight arm at the top of the backswing. We look at that as the standard today. And even players like John Rahm who hit it a long way, they have a shorter backswing, they have tremendous width and keep their arms straight. But here's the thing. We know by looking at biomechanics that if I actually bend the lead arm going back, I create another lever. That lever gives me another ability to create speed. So just like setting my wrist is a lever, bending my arm is a lever. So what I would want you to do is actually bend the arm to get the club back, and then on the downswing, you're going to straighten that out. But by bending the arm, it'll lengthen your swing. So those of you who are a little tight in your thoracic spine, you might have had a shoulder injury, you might be tight with your lats, getting your arms up in the air. Well, if you try and keep your arms straight and get your arms up in the air, you're going to stand up and lose your posture. So what I would want you to do is actually just do your normal, but bend your arm. Bend it and then focus on straightening it at impact. If you do that, it'll increase your speed.
And I think the interesting thing here is as well, we're looking at modern day golf swings now, maybe David Ledbetter's A-swing, or we saw Matt Wolf the other day, and people like this, they create things in their backswing which then make them do things in their downswing. So if your club is out there, it's going to make you do that.
Yes.
So we were talking just before as well, if you're doing this on the way back, well, you're not going to swing down with that.
No, you're not.
You have to straighten out.
You have to straighten
And how many people would be better straightening out and actually moving through the ball like this as opposed to tight and then this?
Exactly. So you're bringing in the dreaded chicken wing there. And those of you who actually come across the ball, a lot of times you're holding off with this lead arm, and that can cause a lot of issues as well. So this is another way to get rid of the chicken wing. Actually bend the arm and then straighten it at impact.
I like it because a lot of guys ask us, you know, they say that they're struggling with keeping their swing maybe too short. Well, this is a great way for them to lengthen their golf swing, but keep the good angles that they create in their body without actually trying to sort of, as you mentioned, Dave, trying to get the arms really high and keep them straight.
You know, there's a player on the PGA Tour who's extremely long, Angel Cabrera, and he bends his lead arm at the top of the backswing. So he's bent, tends to be a little bigger in the chest, maybe not quite as flexible as most. So how does he get the club back? He bends his arm. If you go to the World Long Drive Tour, another trait of the big guys is they bend that arm. That's why the club gets so far back. Now, they don't keep it bent coming in though, they get that thing wide coming down.
So almost like potentially goes into a body type as well. So if you are thick across the chest, you know, that mesomorph sort of frame, then maybe that is actually something that is worth experimenting.
And a lot of the younger guys that are strong and are working out in the gym, what we find is a lot of them have these lats like this. They have big shoulders and no neck. They can't get the club up in the air, right? So you need to bend that arm. So it's not a big deal to do. You should try this. It'll definitely give you a little bit more speed.
Right, so I've got the foot, I've got the arm.
You're going to do both together?
Like 30 yards past you.
Are you going to do both together?
Not yet,
Okay,
maybe.
don't combine them yet. Just bend the arm first. So this time, foot down,
one at
bend
a time,
the arm,
Pierce. I can't multitask.
and then we'll bring them both together.
Okay, I'm
Be
just going to go with
interested
just
to
the
see how
arm then.
much
So
he's actually gonna
soft,
bend
really
it.
soft in that lead arm. Yeah, there you go. Just try and keep it soft, let it bend. Damn, I love it. This guy can do everything he's trying to do.
I might put this into play, Pierce, this
That was pretty
afternoon.
good.
That
Okay,
was actually pretty good.
combine them both?
Let's do it. So that's another trait is you find two things like this that you like to do or we know add speed. See if you can coordinate the two together. So now we're going to bend the arm and lift the foot. Again, another guy that does this.
Bubba Watson.
Bubba Watson, yeah.
I think this is the great thing as well. You know, you guys watching this, it's for you to experiment, see what works, and then put that into play.
Exactly.
If it doesn't work, then you don't put it into play.
That's the thing. We are not saying doing this. This is something, obviously, as this is what you must do. This is just something. Well, what if I could hit it 20 yards further? What if?
What if? Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is taking
heel.
some thinking. This is on Peter.
I know. Lift the heel.
Heel and on. Are you safe though? I don't know whether you're that safe. That's it. I feel
like
a bit better now.
I'm pretty quick with grabbing Dave in front of me. That's pretty good. There's a little left, but I tell you what, I mean, there's some
pop there.
We won't know. I mean, the thing with that is it's very easy for us to obviously try that out with a TrackMan or something like that. But if you're a golfer at home, just get on the golf course and give it a go.
And see, this is the thing, is that a lot of people don't want to do it because it doesn't look like what they see on television, right? But listen, if you've got a club head speed of 92, 93 miles an hour, which is about what most amateur golfers, 15, 20 handicappers have, and you want to increase speed, do these drills. They'll increase speed. If you go up 5 or 6 miles an hour and get to 99, 100, your dispersion, even if you mishit it slightly, won't be that far off that you're going to miss the fairway, but you're going to be 20, 30 yards further.
Guys, hope that helps. I mean, look, let us know your thoughts. Which one are you most likely to put into play? The foot, the arm, or both? Be interested to get your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely start experimenting. And Dave, thank you so much.
Yes,
as always for your time. It's really good seeing you.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, leave those comments, as Andy said, hit the like button and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.
We hope you enjoyed the video. 2 very interesting ways there that could potentially help you hit that golf ball past your playing partners on the weekend. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe for lots more videos each week.
Yeah, speaking of lots more videos, why don't you check out MeandMyGolf.com. Click the link in the corner to access the shot fixer, coaching plans, plus many more great videos to help you game this year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.